everyone. Let me just catch everyone up to where I am at. Okay. Now, how are you all doing? It is Gail here, and I am going to do my daily reading today. This one is interesting. Like I said, I know you guys probably hear all the time. This one is interesting. This one's interesting. But they all are interesting. Okay. And there is a lesson for every single lesson that we're reading, that I am reading. There is something to, I want to say, take from it. Okay. So, before I get started, I should have done it ahead of time. But guys, hold on a second. Okay. I'm just realizing something that looks awfully dark in this corner. Technical difficulties, technical difficulties, technical difficulties, and not really even technical difficulties. Just a small glitch because I don't know, for some reason. It may not seem dark to you guys out there, but it looks dark to me. So bear with me. Okay, that should do it. Okay, so let's begin. Now I am going to read, "Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God." And this is in Philippians 4:6. Okay, so do you ever have moments when anxiety tries to creep up on you and seize your heart? I am talking about those times when you are thrown into a state of panic about things that concern you, such as your family, your friends, your businesses, your finances. Every often, this state of panic is caused by the mere thought of a problem that doesn't even exist and is unlikely ever to pass. Nevertheless, the mere thought of this non existent problem troubles you deeply. Soon you find yourself sinking into a strong state of worry and anxiety that it literally takes you emotionally hostage. And this is the reason why I said that this reading also, it just, tells us about the things that we are going through in life itself. And like I said, there's always a lesson to learn from this because we're all going through something that is, I want to say, holding us hostage, okay? If that's the word to use. An example would be a wife or mother who worries endlessly about the health of her husband or children. Although they are as healthy as can be, the devil constantly pounds the woman's mind with fear filled thoughts about her loved one getting sick or dying prematurely. This fear acts like a strange hold that gradually chokes off her life, paralyzing her until she can no longer function normally in her daily responsibilities. Again, this example as a mother, we, I'm not going to even say and just say that it's just mothers. Fathers also tend to worry about their children. How am I going to feed my family? Oh, I just lost my job. What about insurance? So to me, it's both parents, mother and father, that worry about things like that, such as that. Uh, hold on, YouTube, hold tight, because I don't know. It could be just me. See, and they talk about the devil having a stronghold, and here I am with worry. Okay, so, or have you ever known a successful businessman who lives in constant terror that he is going to lose his money? I have known many such men. Their businesses were blessed, stable, and even expanding. But because the devil stuck their in their minds with worry and anxiety about losing it all, they weren't able to enjoy the success God given them. Instead of enjoying God's goodnesses and his many blessings in their lives, they often lived like beggars, afraid that if they used what they had, they might lose it. This is a strangling, choking fear that steals people's ability to enjoy what they possess. And guys, I want to say we all have been there, done that, to whereas um, you know, that fear overtakes you, and you don't realize that really it's nothing that you're worrying about. Like what you're worrying about is not there, it is not happening. It's almost like it's an illusion. But the devil has such a strong hold on your mind because you have allowed him, by having doubt, that you are going to lose your business, lose your home, lose your car, your child is sick. But sometimes we cannot see it because we're so overwhelmed. Now, some people who are so controlled by fear that they pray fretful prayers instead of faithful filled prayers. Fretful prayers instead of faithful filled prayers. I must admit that I have had moments in my life when I have prayed more out of fretfulness than out of faith. Have you ever had one of those times praying fretful prayers doesn't get you anything? It is non productive praying. God does not respond to fretfulness. He responds to faith. A big take here. When you're praying all over the place, and I want to say you're not praying out of faith, so your prayers are going on deaf ear. So just remember, when you're praying, you pray from faith, not from fear. In Philippians 4:6, Paul says, be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. Do you see the word careful? In this verse, it is a Greek word, marinano, which means to be troubled, to be anxious, to be fretful, or to be worried about something. In New Testament times, this word was primarily used in connection with worried about finances, hunger, or some other basic provision of life. It pictured a person who is fretful about paying his bills, a person who is worried he won't have enough money to purchase food and clothes for his family needs, or pay his house payment or apartment rent on time, or a person who is anxious about his ability to cope with the daily necessities of life. How many of us been in this predicament, in this here situation, where we're just almost banging our heads up against a wall, trying to figure out something, and we're moving out of faith into fear. And so we know that when you when you move into fear, you allow the devil to enter into your spirit, into your mind, your body, your soul. You have opened a door and said, I am weak, I am lost, come on in and guide me. And we all know where that will lead you. This is the same word Matthew used in 6:25 when Jesus said, therefore I say unto you, take no thought of your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink. The word thought is also the Greek word marinero. But in this particular verse, the Greek New Testament also has the word me, which is a strong prohibition to stop something that is already in progress. This strongly suggests that Jesus was speaking to warriors who were already filled with fret and anxiety. He was urging these people to stop worrying. The verse could be translated, stop worrying about your life. Then Jesus specifies that they were to stop worrying about what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink. So again, see the word marinero used to describe worry, fretfulness, and anxiety about obtaining basic necessities of life. We also find the word marinero used in the parable of the sower and the seed. Matthew 13, verse 22 says, he also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becomes unfruitful. The word care is the Greek word marinero, again connected to material worries and concerns. Jesus says such worry chokes the word. The word choke is the Greek word sympaneo, which means to suffocate, to smother, to asphyxiate, to choke, or to throttle. You see, worry is also consuming in an individual's mind that it literally chokes him. It is a suffocating, smothering force that throttles his whole life to a standstill. Can't move left, can't move right, can't enjoy what you have because you are worried. And I almost want to add that, and I will add that it's like you become a prisoner in your own mind. You become a prisoner in your own mind. Now, in Luke 21, verse 34, Jesus gives a special warning to people who live in the last days. He said, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of life, so that they come upon you unawares. I was just looking at the word because I just feel like I just mispronounced the word, but we're not going to do exactly what I just said, do what I'm reading about, get stuck with fear, like, oh, did I say the wrong word? Oh, we're going to move on. When Jesus mentioned the cares of life, the word care is the Greek word marinera. This time, however, it is used in connection with the word life, which is the Greek word biotikos, biotikos, biotikos. This comes from the root word bios, the Greek word for life. It is where you get the word biology. But when it becomes the word biotikos, it describes the things of life pertaining primarily to events, incidents, and episodes that occur in one's life. Thus, this phrase could be understood to mean that we should not allow ourselves to worry and fret about the events, incident, or episodes that occur in our life. This is a particularly fitting message for people who live in the last days and who are confronted by incidents and episodes that occur during this difficult time. So in Luke 21:34, and he's warning the people that's living in the last days, and we are the people that's living in the last days. So that's something that we need to be careful about. Read it, reread it, try to process it, and apply it. So when the Apostle Paul writes in Philippians 4, verse 6, be careful for nothing, he is pleading with us not to worry about the basic needs and provisions required for life. Paul is also telling us not to let the events of life get to us and throw us into a state of anxiety or panic. To let us know how free of all worry we should be, Paul says we are to be careful for nothing. The word nothing is the Greek word medin, M-E-D-E-N, and it means absolutely nothing. So this phrase in Philippians 4:6 could be translated, don't be worried about anything. And that means nothing at all. Because with prayer and petition and praying with thanksgiving and praying out of faith, all that you need, all your needs will be met and more will be added unto you. So we need to remember that. So, what is bothering you today? What is stealing your peace and joy? Is there one particular thing Satan keeps using to strike your mind with fear? Can you think of a single time when worry and fretfulness ever helped make a situation better? Doesn't worry serve only to keep you emotionally torn up and in a state of panic? And guys, we know that to be true. We know that a lot of times that when we worry, some of us get so sick. And it, to me, and I'm just speaking for myself, to me, it causes mental issues. To me, again, speaking for myself, it is what causes mental breakdowns because, I mean, your mind is going 50 miles an hour. Your mind is going so fast that your heart can't keep up with it. And guess what? When you're moving in this state of being, everyone that depends on you becomes at risk is at risk of failing. And when I'm saying failing and failing in unhappiness, because where they depended on you and it was your job to, you keeping your household together, you're keeping your marriage together, you're keeping your children together, your day-to-day routine will suffer when that suffers. The people under you that you was once over, that you kept the smiles on their face and you kept the meals coming, everyone starts to suffer when you allow Satan to grab hold of you and do whatever he wants. Now, I urge you to put an end to worry today, once and for all. If you let worry start operating in you, even for a moment, it will try to become a habitual part of your life thoughts, turning you into a warrior who never knows a moment of peace. Jesus is sitting at the right hand of the Father right now, interceding for you continually. Jesus understands every emotion, every frustration, every temptation you could ever face. And see Hebrews 2, verse 18. So, why not make a deliberate decision to turn over your worries to Jesus today? Rather than try to manage those anxieties and the needs all by yourself, go to Him and surrender them. Surrender everything into His loving, capable hands. Walk free of all those choking, paralyzing fears once and for all. Jesus is waiting for you to cast all your cares upon Him because He really does care for you. And you see 1 Peter 5, verse 7. Then once you throw your worries and concerns on Him, He will help you experience the joy and peace He had designed for you to enjoy for your life all along. See, in the beginning, we have to always remember at the times with Adam and Eve, like we were not built for sin, we were not built for sadness. like that was never the most high intentions. Like we were to live a happy, sinless, carefree life. And sometimes we forget that. So here's the prayer for today. Lord, I admit that I have allowed fear, worry, fretfulness, and anxiety to play a role in my life. When these negative emotions operate in me, I lose my peace and my joy. I am tired of living in this continual state of worry and fear about bad things that might happen. Jesus, today I am making this choice to turn all these destructive thoughts over to you. I don't want to live this way anymore. I know this isn't your plan for my life. So by faith, I will cast my concerns to you. I release them into your hands, Lord, and ask you to take them right now. And I pray this in Jesus' name. Now here's the confession for today. I confess for today. I confess that I am free from worry, fretfulness, and anxiety. These forces have no place in me. I have surrendered every care and concern to Jesus, and He has taken them from me. As a result, I am free of every burden, every weight, every problem. Jesus is my great high priest, and He is interceding for me right now. With God on my side, I can enjoy life. He intended for me to enjoy it. I boldly confess that I am fear free and worry free, and that anxiety has no place in me. And I declare this by faith in Jesus' name. Here are the three questions to ask yourself. First one: what is the one area in your life where Satan most often strikes your mind and emotions with fear, fretfulness, and anxiety? Do you know what triggers this attack of fear and worry? The second question: for you to get out of fear and to walk in peace, what steps do you need to take in your life? In other words, what do you need to do differently than you are doing right now in order for you to move into a place of constant peace? And now here's the third question. If you were going to counsel someone else who has been held hostage by worry, fretfulness, and anxiety, what would you tell that person to do to get free and to stay free? So those are the three questions that um, you can ask yourself, that you can ponder and see what answer, and try to find out where you need to improve um, your faith. And I'm saying your faith because fear, because we are of flesh, should not have a place in our lives, but we allow it because I always say, sometimes when you don't know better, you can't do better. But when you realize that you can do better, you start to learn and you start to apply it. So if faith is what you need to work on, then you need to work on your faith, because faith over fear brings you happiness and joy. And not only that, when we are in a state of panic, anxiety, um, fretfulness, uh, we tend to lash out because it's what we do. It's the mind playing tricks, and it's the mind being controlled, and Satan have you believing that there is a problem. So now you tend to attack those that are closest to you. So that is a learning lesson right there. We must learn to stay in faith, never move out of faith, because the moment Satan see that he has weakened you, which you will start in your mind, start making you think there's something wrong with your children, there's something wrong with your marriage, there's something wrong with your finances, you're about to go down, you're about to be in ruins, then you're surrendering. Do not surrender. Stay in faith. Basically, really, it's like you're fighting for what is right. Okay? So, this is Gail with my daily reading. Thank you so much. And look for Russell and I to come back to start lesson 2 on um, the different ways that Jesus healed people. Okay, so thank you so much, and I will see you later. Thank you so much, Instagram, and thank you, YouTube.